Quick introduction into Wyre. At its core, Wyre is a simple set of APIs to allow you to build payment infrastructure into your fintech applications. How do we do this from bringing our product to market? First, we make it very easy for developers to work with us. There's no integration fees, no setup fees, no exclusivity, no fees to you to build on top of Wyre. Easy integration. We offer hosted checkout flows for those that don't want to deal with any complexity in building out your application. We allow you to meet user demand, and we do that by offering a full stack of solutions, which I'll go into in a second, as well as being geographically scalable. So as we'll see, Wyre is very well positioned to be a global player for many years to come. And of course, importantly, we're fully compliant in all the markets in which we do business. Also, importantly, we just launched our integration with Algorand. Very happy to announce that. It's been live for 2 weeks. We already have some good activity on that. Some of you may have seen, we were on Algorand's developer office hours last week, so that will have even a more detailed demos and things that you can review after this if you're interested in our products and services. So what does an Algorand integration for Wyre look like? Wyre, as I mentioned, is a full stack payments infrastructure company. So for Algorand, that means on-ramps and off-ramps, wallet support, as well as swap support. So those are sort of the four main services that we've integrated with Algorand. On-ramps. Wyre services are really built on 3 pillars. So we have our on-ramps to get into the ecosystem. We offer cash and crypto services to move money and build value when you're on the ecosystem. And then lastly, of course, off-ramps, because we still need to also work with the fiat world at the end of the day, okay? As far as on-ramps go, we offer 2 primary ways to integrate with Wyre. The Wyre checkout, which I'll show you some screenshots of, that is a fully hosted payment flow, super easy to integrate, offers all of our payment methods. If you are okay handling some additional complexity, and in exchange for full control of the user experience, you can implement our services through direct APIs and effectively white label our services. So that's for really those that want full control over that user experience. Checkout. So I mentioned this is our flagship product. This is a super easy, under 10 lines of code to integrate payment flow. You can see here just two very simple screens, and also very easy to integrate for you as a developer, and flexible. So if you want to allow your user to choose the amount of crypto they want to buy, you can do that. If you want to set the amounts in terms of buy amounts, you can do that. If you want in terms of spend amounts, spending a certain amount in US dollar or buying a certain amount in crypto, you can do that. You can allow the user to fill all their information in through the checkout, or you can also, if you're collecting the information within your app, you can just pre-populate that and have a very simple payment flow where you're just asking for the card number, essentially. So the point of this, super simple to on-ramp your users into crypto. For those that have higher limit needs, so if you want to be able to on-ramp, up into the thousands of dollars per week, those are higher than our default limits. We offer a checkout flow with KYC. So this is fully baked in. You as developers don't need to do anything to, no additional build. And we will do full identity verification on the user. And with that, you can offer higher limits. So again, there's no additional work for you. It's just the user needs to be fully verified in order to get access to those higher limits. Yes, for international. So we have different limits for international and US. In the US, for higher limits, it's 7,500. In international, up to 10,000.
I meant like KYC for all the global users, or just
same KYC for global. Yep. And this is also ACH. I think the previous slide mentioned ACH was on the roadmap. It actually is launched. So credit, debit card, Apple Pay, and ACH all through our hosted checkout widget. The middle pillar of our services, crypto and cash. Of course, the flagship is wallets. So this is one thing that differentiates us from our competitors is we can offer wallet support. All of our competitors do that. So if you just want wired to custodial wallets and you don't want to deal with the additional complexity that comes with managing wallets, you can use Wyre to do that. One benefit, of course, with that is you'll get gasless transfers. So with Algorand, fees are low, so not as big of a deal. But if you're dealing with any other assets or tokens, that may be a nice feature for you. Also Wyre Plus. So this is a yield generating wallet, very popular in the ecosystem. I think we all know the growing demand for these type of services. And lastly, our swaps API. For those that want to build a exchange, you can use Wyre to initiate swaps with Algorand assets, as well as any other blockchain asset that Wyre supports. Okay, a little bit into wallets. So as I mentioned, these are custodial wallets. We handle all the account opening, funding, making sure the wallet's good and ready for use. Very simple. You as a developer, all you need to do to spin up a wallet is give it a name so you can identify it and a callback URL so that you can receive updates on that wallet. Really simple. Swaps, I'll go into swaps a little bit. Of course, importantly, we can all Algorand assets that we support, Algos, USDT, USDC on Algorand supported with the swaps, as well as all the other blockchains that that Wyre supports in our system. And one thing that's nice as a developer is you can, in real time, check market conditions. So you can check min and max swap amount, which are based on liquidity. You can check the exchange rates. You can generate a full transfer preview for that swap. So really give the user the best experience checking out to make sure they know what they're getting with that. And off-ramps, super simple off-ramps. We support in 6 markets here, you can see. So the US, Brazil, China, Mexico, Europe. And those are all local transfers, I want to be clear. So just very, very efficient and always adding more to that. For custodial wallets, I want to bring up a cool service that we have, non-custodial. If you're hosting the wallets yourself, you can still use Wyre to off-ramp. And we do this by auto-liquidating blockchain addresses, is what we call it. So you can create a payment method in our system, which is essentially just a tokenized set of bank details, and you'll get that token back that refers to those bank details. And you can attach a blockchain address to that. And then anytime your user wants to off-ramp their crypto, just send money to that address, and we'll automatically convert it to fiat that's associated with that payment method and liquidate to the bank account. So I think that's a great service for non-custodial solutions. Roadmap. Okay, this is probably my favorite slide. I think we're all bullish on the future. That's partly why we're here. And I'm very excited about the roadmap that Wyre has going. In particular, this is a little bit focused on the fiat world because all of you are building the future on the Algorand network. So with Latin America, this is hardly the roadmap because it's actually just about live, offering additional on-ramps in Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. We already have off-ramps in those countries, but we'll have additional providers there. In Europe, one I'm very excited about is being able to offer real-time bank transfers in Europe. And so I actually think this is going to be one of the best on-ramp experiences around. You get non-reversible instant payments authenticated by the bank. And nicely, you can convert that on the back end to a SEPA direct debit transaction. So you can have a fully authenticated first instant payment, and then you can turn that into pull payments anytime you want as necessary or as agreed with your user. So I think that's really cool. Globally, we have a couple of things coming. You may have seen Wyre is participating in Visa's FinTech Fast Track program. That will give us access and resources to build a lot of cool stuff with Visa's network. And one of the first things we'll be launching with that is Visa Direct. So that will allow us to push funds to debit cards and bank accounts instantly to Visa's Direct program. So I think that will, and that's a global scale. So that will be very welcome by our users and customers. Also, optimize global acquiring. This is something that many in the blockchain world, not that familiar with, but I think it really does distinguish us from our competitors. We have entities and are fully regulated in 4 markets, and we will soon be launching local card processing in all of those markets, which will give us the best conversion rates for on-ramping card payments. And again, that's just really trying to make sure we scale globally and meet your user demand in all these markets and do so in the most effective way. And lastly here, named accounts. So this will just be a nice, easy way for you to spin up dedicated virtual accounts to accept direct deposits and enable some sort of B2B type of services if that's interesting, what you're trying to build on. Please check us out, sendwyre.com. More importantly, come talk to me, come talk to my colleagues there in the back. We'll be around. We're fun people. We're very excited to talk to you throughout the rest of the day.